You know, if I hadn't met my missus, I might just say that this is the most beautiful goddamn thing I've ever seen in my life. One of my favourite games of all time, Red Dead Redemption, the GOAT, on my phone. I mean, you all know I'm shocked. Goes without saying at this point, but this is just fantastic. I could not be happier to have this running, and in 1080p, no less. It looks stunning. I mean, on a little phone, it just looks insanely good. I am going to try my hand at running Red Dead Redemption 2 on this absolute beast at some point, but for now, this is nuts. I mean, I am going to have to play this entire game. I know that kind of isn't exactly a punishment or anything, like I'm going to have to do it. Fine. If I have to, I'll play Red Dead Redemption 1 for the 87th time since I was about 12. This is nuts. I'm just going to do a little bit of gameplay, run around a little bit, and then at the end of the video this time, I will show you how I'm running this. So I'm running this through a Nintendo Switch emulator, though I am not putting that in the title because I don't want Nintendo's ninjas to come and murder me in my sleep. But this is running stupidly well. In settlements small as this one, I mean, I don't know why I'm going to guesstimate the frame rate, I can literally just put it up. In settlements like this one, we're getting a pretty much locked 30 FPS, I was about to say 60 FPS, that would be nice. Locked 30 FPS. In bigger towns, you get about 25 FPS, which honestly, I said it in the last video, but that is shockingly playable considering the game that we're playing. I mean, we've got Deadeye. Nobody aims in Red Dead. You just auto aim onto the head, or you use Deadeye. But anyway, it doesn't look bad at all. In fact, I think it looks really good. Obviously, that's just the frame rate, but visually it looks fantastic. I'm running in docked mode, so if those of you watching haven't seen Nintendo Switch emulation, or you just haven't used the Nintendo Switch in general, in handheld mode it downclocks itself significantly, so the resolution is always quite a lot lower, and then when you plug it into the dock, it basically, well, it doesn't overclock itself, but it becomes its normal clock speed, which is still a bit downclocked compared to the actual chip's potential. But as a result, the resolution increases by quite a lot, and usually the split at best is 720p on the screen and then 1080p on docked mode. So we're running in docked mode, which means that it's running at 1080p, and I mean, you can tell. Obviously, I think there's some kind of split rendering going on in this, where the things that are up close are rendered at a higher resolution than stuff that's in the background. Honestly, quite a clever way to do it. That's just what my eyes are telling me, because stuff in the background looks worse than I'd expect 1080p to look. But up front, looking at John, he's kind of just dying at the second, but looking at John, it does seem to me like it's running at 1080p. If it's not at full 1080p, then it's got to be close to it, because it just looks fantastic. Anyway, I'm going to go in here and do a bit of this mission, just to show you a bit of this this performance, this gameplay. You enjoy. I figured it's about time I paid back that $15! Oh, that's a good way to get some kind of brutal throat injury. Trying to imitate John Marston. Hello there, Bonnie McFarlane! I mean, I'm really gonna feel sorry for my my voice box when I get Red Dead 2 running, because I'm just gonna imitate every single character and it's just gonna kill me. Let's make a tour of the ranch so you can get your bearings. This is truly one of the greatest games ever made. I don't think it stands up to Red Dead 2 in the test of time, but that's not really a fair comparison. But for what it was at the time, this was just revolutionary. It was just a complete game changer. I had never played a game of this quality in my entire life. And it's not like I hadn't played the original sort of Rockstar classics. I had played them, but partially because I was too young to appreciate them, and also because this is just better. It just is better. It's a better game. It's higher quality, it's got better characters, and the story is better, in my opinion. I won't comment on games beyond this, but I think up until that point, this was easily the best game they had ever made. And it shows. I mean, it still holds up incredibly well to this day.
First impressions are hard to erase. That's the train station. Things sure have changed since the line finally got finished, bringing in all sorts of new folk like yourself.
Is that such a bad thing?
Change is only
The only annoying thing about this emulator is at the second, can't get rid of that button on the screen even if you're using a physical controller like I am. I did see a comment from the maker or the dev of this particular fork of this particular emulator saying that in the next build they're going to add a way to get rid of that, so that won't be here for very long.
And here we are back at the house.
Oh my Jesus, I didn't realise we were stopping there.
You'll get no complaint from me.
Oh, we
Mr.
finna
Farland.
stop a while? Literally just got on the damn horse, but okay. Okay, Bonnie McFarlane.
What are you waiting for? Come on, I don't fight.
Man, give me a damn second.
How about a cold drink, Mr. Marston?
Thank you, ma'am. Getting shot, then riding a horse seems to take it out of you. I could use a rest.
Sure. Come on in. I'll show you the house and then you can sit for a while.
Thank you.
Mr. Marston,
Miss McFarland.
remember me telling you about the trouble we've been having with rustlers and other undesirables?
I do.
Will you help me keep watch on the property line this evening?
Sure.
I want to see just who is trespassing on our land.
This is a fine weapon.
Come, let's head out. The country is really beautiful at around this
I've
time.
seen other people run Red Dead Redemption 2 on this exact chipset. I don't doubt that they're real videos. I have no idea how that's going to work. I really don't. But then I'm not particularly shocked when like a game that isn't as demanding runs worse than a game that is more demanding at this point. Like I've played games on here that run worse that were made in like 2010 than games that were like, I just released a video of No Man's Sky, and I know that technically came out in 2016, but it has been updated and the graphics have changed in the last sort of 10 years, or close to 10 years, so you'd expect that that would be quite heavy, but that just runs at a perfect locked 60 FPS. I know in this particular instance the game is actually capped. Saying that, I can technically uncap the frame rate. I don't know whether it's going to immediately cause the game to go, wow, okay. No, that's cool. Didn't realise you could do that. That's kind of insane. Just running it now at like 45.
God damn it, these rabbits
Cool.
ran it again. Come on,
The more you know.
let's get rid of them once and for all.
I honestly thought it would be like totally broken when I did that. That's why I hadn't tried it, but nice. I mean, I have absolutely no doubt that this is not going to stay at a good FPS. Oh, there's some rabbits, boys. Oh, look at that. Auto-aim, boys. Absolutely zero effort required. I mean, you know, there are definitely things that aren't perfect about this game, for sure. The absolutely horrendous input lag is one of them, and always has been one of them. Especially considering I played the launch build of the Xbox 360 version, and that ran at like 15 FPS at points, if I'm not mistaken. You know, kind of needed to have a really strong auto-aim, but, you know. Damn, I did not think that that would work. Or rather, I thought it would work, but it would speed everything up. Clearly, whoever is developing this version of the emulator managed to... It's kind of hard to explain, but in emulators like a Nintendo Switch emulator, oftentimes when the frame rate is fully uncapped, and the original game was supposed to run at 30 FPS, for example, if you run it at like 45 to 60 FPS, it will literally double the actual game speed. It won't just make the frame rate smoother, it will literally change the speed of the game, so it'll be like it's in fast forward. But it's nice to see they've actually managed to sort that out. That's cool. How am I playing Red Dead on my phone? I don't get it. How is this happening? What happened in the last 10 years? These chip designers are just a different level of cracked. I will never understand it, but, you know, big up my boy, Alan Turing. Absolute G. One of the OGs. Never forgive what they did to my boy.
You know, you can actually handle a rifle.
It's something I've had a little experience in.
Maybe Bill Williams
Anyway,
did
I
get
think that
lucky after all.
just about does it. I think
Luck
that's
didn't really
a
come
good
into it,
representation
You're a
of
useful
how
man
good
to have
the
around
gameplay is
ranch,
on here.
that's for sure.
Doesn't really
I
change
don't think
too
I've
much the
forgotten
frame
what
rate,
brought you here.
but
We'll do
yeah,
whatever we can
crazy
to help
stuff.
you.
Now I'm gonna
I
go
sure
ahead and show you
appreciate
how
that,
I got this
Mr.
up and running.
Farland.
So here we are in my emulator of choice. Now this does say, as you can see on the top left, it does say Ryujinx. However, this is a slightly different version of Ryujinx called Benji-SC. It is a build of Ryujinx, which is a slightly different Nintendo Switch emulator than you're probably used to. This is a much newer one that actually still has active development going on, which is really nice. Obviously, I will link the particular emulator in the description. Although, I don't know, should I? I don't think I'm a big enough channel. Well, I know I'm not a big enough channel, so you know what, yeah, I'll just shove that in the description. But I think if I ever do get a large amount of subscribers and views, I'm probably going to stop doing things towards Nintendo because they are insane. Anyway, continuing on. So, once you've got the emulator downloaded and running, the first thing you're going to want to do is just go straight into the settings because there's a bunch of things that we need to do. So, the unfortunate part here is that I cannot show you how to get keys or firmware. I just can't. I also can't show you how to get games. There are ways to get all of these things, but that is unfortunately not something that I'm going to be able to go over in this. It's very complicated. You can do it in a legitimate way, that's how I do it, but there are ways to get these things. Just do a bit of Googling and you will find them. Anywho, once you've got those, you can install the keys on here. So you just tap install keys, you just select your product keys, then once you've done the product keys first, then you just click install firmware. That's that bit done. Then you're going to want to put your Switch NSP files that you've gathered into a folder. I like to put one folder just for the base game and then one folder for the updates. And then I had the game folder, the original sort of base game, in that third box there. Sorry, the recording crashed there. And then once you've done that, you can go back and you should see your game show up there, or your games. The next one, on my 8 Elite, I would recommend mostly using docked mode, and then if you have any performance problems or anything like that, try it without docked mode. That will just lower the resolution and it'll look a bit worse, but it'll more than likely run better, which is good. Although I think most of the time you're going to be CPU bottlenecking anyway, because we don't have certain things that you could run on older Snapdragon chips at the second, like NCE, but I won't bother going into that right now because it's not relevant for this chip. I have selected, well, I haven't selected anything, this is all default stuff. I've got performance mode on, which is on by default. Native code execution, I mean, I guess I'll kind of lightly explain what it is. The Nintendo Switch uses an ARM processor, the 8 Elite is an ARM processor, and so essentially there's less emulation going on, as far as I can explain it, if you have that enabled. So it's not emulating the chip as much as it's just emulating the OS differences. So with that turned off, unfortunately, there is a hell of a lot more horsepower required to run it. The good thing is that this chip is an absolute beast, and it just kind of rips through most things, even without that, so that's fine. But you're going to need to have that turned off for this game, or it will not boot. Some games do actually seem to work with it, but until we get better GPU drivers for this chip, it's just not going to be a smooth sailing kind of situation. The rest of them you can ignore, they will be fine on the default settings. Again, here, all default settings is fine. You can change the resolution here. If you're playing a particularly light Nintendo Switch game, like a 2D game, you might be able to get away with increasing the resolution, but I've just got it on 1x for this example. For some reason, anisotropic filtering is on 0x by default. No idea why. I don't think it's worth not having on. I don't think the performance is really that much worse, but okay. Anyway, put that to 16x, and then as I've shown in the previous videos, I will always link this driver in the description, but you're going to want the latest Game Hub GPU driver. So that's the GPU driver that's been extracted from the emulator Game Hub, because it's the best thing we've got at the second until we get, or if we ever get, turnip drivers. But for now, this works quite well. Looks like I didn't even have that on. Been messing around with settings, so it seems to have disabled itself, but it does make a little bit of a difference to the performance in a lot of games. And also, generally speaking, the biggest benefit is that the games will even run at all, and they'll, you know, potentially have slightly better like compatibility, and they'll just be less glitchy and stuff. But yeah, weird. I think I was actually running that without it, that one, so I don't really know. Anyway, definitely have that selected and enabled. You can just add it by pressing the little plus icon and then just selecting the file that you downloaded from the description, and then that's basically it. On this, if you hold the icon and then press the little 3 lines, you can click manage updates, and that's where you can add your update files if you have any. And that's it. That's all the configuration you need to do. This was surprisingly easy. Didn't really need to do much. Yeah, enjoy. Thank you guys. Goodbye.